Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jay Ciano from Sabre Real Estate Advisors. Hope you guys are enjoying this Retail Live virtual conference as much as I am. As you can see, I am in sunny South Florida, and we will get to that at some point. But first, I want to thank Stacy Mooney and Retail Live for providing this opportunity to speak to you guys about developing a personal brand in business and being more human. The way that I wanted to do this was to basically pick up my camera. You can see that it's on a swivel here, so I do have some tools that make the video look more clear since I have been using social media and vlogging in commercial real estate for about 4 years now. So I'm the CEO, co-founder of a company called Sabre Real Estate. Many of you may know us, many of you likely do not. And I am using platforms like social media and vlogging to get the word out and create a larger brand for Sabre Real Estate as well as myself. And I think that today it's become even more apparent to people that when things like a coronavirus pandemic occur and everybody's forced to overnight work from home, everybody's invisible, right? So I've been putting out a weekly vlog now for 3.5 years called the first iteration was Real Sabre, right? Which is basically a behind the scenes showing you my team, my company, what we do, giving you kind of that reality television perspective of who we are, who we work with, our service lines, and we'll talk about what that did for the business. But in addition to that, in episode 100, I actually spoke a lot about how the commercial real estate industry is going to change, how it has changed over the 20 years that I'm in the business now. And I would say if there's one thing that I could tell everybody that they need to do immediately, it's to develop a personal brand. I do not care if you are a broker, a landlord, a tenant, an attorney. It does not matter what you are, what your position is, what your role is at that company that you work for. If you're the founder and the CEO, or if you're a associate that just started with the organization, it is extremely important that you create your own brand. You have to look at your life as you are the CEO of your life. You have to create a digital resume, right? I cannot tell you guys the last time that I actually handed out a paper business card, okay? So what do I do when I meet somebody? The first thing that I do is establish a connection. It's exactly what you do when you're meeting somebody in person, right? But as you can see, today, when we're all forced to work from home for a prolonged period of time, you are now heavily reliant on meeting new people virtually, going to conferences virtually, which is what we're doing right now, right? And I'm giving you guys a speech that would otherwise be a panel discussion or a fireside chat in a conference room. I'm giving that to you from South Florida, all right? Now, it's interesting because my offices are based in New York, and I happen to be in South Florida for the last 3.5 weeks with the family because we spend a lot of time in South Florida, and we had this unique opportunity to not only work remotely, but to teach our children remotely. So we did not feel the need to be doing that from our house in New York. We took advantage of the circumstances and decided to do something that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise as a family. And I can tell you that this pandemic has changed everything. Everything that I've been working on for the last, call it 3.5, 4 years with the use of social media, creating a personal brand, even though, again, I'm the CEO of Sabre Real Estate, I wanted to make sure that we are front and center. We're able to be visible through these lenses, through the computer screen that you're looking at, through the phone that you're viewing this on, through your iPad, whatever device that you're on right now. It doesn't matter to me. It just matters to me that you see my face, you recognize me, and you go to learn more about me. right? So let's assume for a second that we just walked into a conference room. Somebody in my company set up the meeting for us, and we had never met before. When I walk into that conference room, I can tell you, based on the amount of energy that we've been putting into creating this digital resume, again, not only for Saber Real Estate, but for myself personally, that people always check you out. What's the first thing you do when you're gonna meet with somebody? You go Google their name, right? You Google their name and all these different things pop up. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anything else that you could possibly imagine, obviously including your website and all of these other things that create this entire digital resume that I'm referring to. So it is in complete control that you can dictate what people see and what they learn about you as a result of simply Googling your name, right? So I've always been a big networker. And the minute that I discovered using digital, right? And putting a face to my company, right? I never could have imagined how much it would grow us, okay, as a business again. And obviously it would grow my own individual business within Saber, right? So you Google somebody, their name pops up. And I like to say that now that I have probably 1,000 videos out on the internet, again, a weekly vlog, haven't missed a week in 3.5 years. And you know, it's impossible not to what I call fall down the rabbit hole, right? So it's inevitable that if you're Googling me and you start to click on some stuff, you're gonna end up watching a video like this. And all of a sudden, you're gonna watch a few different videos and you're going to have what we call the Kardashian effect, right? So when you watch somebody on video and you not only see them working, but you see them playing and you see them being human, you have a connection with them that you wouldn't have otherwise, okay? So when I'm walking into a conference room for the first time with people who have inevitably stumbled down this rabbit hole and watched some of my videos of me with my wife, with my kids, doing things that have nothing to do with business, you're gonna connect some sort of, you're gonna feel like that you have some sort of connection to me, okay? And that right there is the secret between being more human in business. And based on everything that's transpired over the last several months, this isn't something that's gonna separate myself from other people in my field. This is something that I've been saying for a long time, since Future Proof started at this point, who knows, 1.5 years ago. I transitioned from Real Saber to Future Proof, which has been about future-proofing yourself in a digital world, in a post-internet world, today in a post-COVID world. These are things that used to be something that you could decide to do to go above and beyond, right? Today, these are things you have to do to stay in business. There's a big difference. Everything that we've been working on that has incrementally happened since the internet started to impact retail real estate has accelerated by 3 to 5 years based on coronavirus, okay? So let's think about that for a second. So what's happening? We have a lot of retailers that are past their expiration date that are either filing or in jeopardy, in harm's way. We have a lot of other companies that are being innovative, and a lot of people that are doing things that are what I like to call, you know, more internet proof, built for the future, right? And those companies are going to thrive in this new environment. And you as individuals need to look at yourself as, you know, the CEO of your own life. And that is developing a personal brand that it lives outside of the company that you work for. Okay, it doesn't matter that Jay Ciano is the CEO of Saber Real Estate. It matters that Jay Ciano is somebody who focuses on these different things, and I'm known for that. Some of the brightest minds in the digital media space are Gary Vaynerchuk, who I've had the good fortune of spending a lot of time with on several occasions to understand the importance of the things that I'm talking about right now. Other people like Ryan Serhant, who I've had the great fortune of becoming friendly with and talking about these things. You can go back and look at episode 101 of Future Proof. The first episode of Future Proof is Ryan Serhant and I talking about the things that I'm talking to you about now. A long time ago, talking about the brokerage business, the brokerage model. Is it something that's going to stay in its current format in the future when things continue to change? In episode 100, I actually talk about how I think I said in 12 to 18 months, the commercial real estate world is going to be disrupted. And it's going to change everything that we know and everything that is, everything that seems normal now. And I know that our industry as a whole is not extremely innovative, right? Which is one of the reasons that I've decided to do what I do. But it's also, this is not rocket science. Understanding that technology is going to play a major role in every industry moving forward is not, again, this is something that everybody knows. Whether or not you decide to use it or not is up to you. But up until mid-March, when this pandemic happened to us, you know, it was kind of something that you could decide whether or not you wanted to participate. Today, I stand before you telling you that if you're not creating a personal brand in your business, right, regardless, again, of where you work and who you work for and what your role is, if you're not doing that, you are invisible. If you are not connecting on a more human level as an organization, you are going to not thrive in this new world. And obviously, everybody wants to do as much business as they possibly can, have a positive impact on the world, on the people they work with, on the world around us. This is what's most important to me. I like to say that our why at Sabre is to create better people that create better businesses and better communities that create better people, okay? That is our why. And if you don't have a why that resonates in a very current way with this new world, you're going to be at a disadvantage. That disadvantage today might just be enough to put you out of business in the future. And I want to help everybody as much as I possibly can. I want to help everybody understand the importance of these things that I'm talking about today, because together we can all be better. We can help each other. Listen, I'm in the brokerage side of the business. I have not considered anybody to be competition of Sabre in many years. I look at everybody in the brokerage community as an ally, which I think is a very, very unique perspective on the business. I want to do business with everybody in every market, regardless of what company you work for. That's my reality. I want to help people. It doesn't matter to me where you work and what tenants you represent, what landlords you represent. I want to just build a network of like-minded individuals who understand the importance of the things that I'm talking about today. So I hope that you're picking up some good tidbits here on how to build and develop a personal brand in business and how to be more human as a company. And obviously for the folks who are the owners, the founders, the high-level C-suite, the decision makers at a company, the becoming more human as an organization is something that resonates more with you than the developing a personal brand, which resonates with everybody. But let's talk a little bit about how to use these platforms, right? Let's talk about LinkedIn for a second. So LinkedIn is basically networking with folks in the industry and potential prospects and clients that you have, right? But it's the first step. I think it's the most important step probably for the majority of the people that are watching this. But beyond that, people need to learn more about you outside of who you are in the workplace, right? And for me, When I turned 40 years old, I entered my 40s where I had the work Jay, the at home Jay, the with my friends hanging out Jay, and I was, kind of concerned with what people thought about me and how that would have an impact on my business. And once I turned 40 and, approached obviously being in business for over 16 years or so, it dawned on me that, I needed to be able to be myself, to truly be happy, and not just in my career, in life, right? So that's something that I encourage everybody to do more of, okay? You don't have to have a team of people that are dedicated to filming you, following you, creating videos, editing, right? You could do it like I am today. I'm doing it on my iPhone with a little tripod, swivel tripod that you can get for a few $100s, and some AirPods, right? The sound quality, I'm assuming, is amazing. I could be wrong, but I guarantee it's very good. And it's easy for me to record this and upload it to any platform, right? If you're focused on using this to develop more business and have an impact in the commercial real estate industry, I would say the first place that you're gonna do this is LinkedIn, right? Now, I happen to gravitate towards Instagram. For me, Instagram has become more or less my business card, my digital resume. I do have LinkedIn. I don't spend as much time there because the clients in the areas that I focus, I happen to communicate more effectively with them through Instagram. And it's a much easier way for me to make personal contact with people that I'm either doing business with, existing clients who ultimately become friends, and see a lot more of my personal life, right? So it's a little hard to use LinkedIn to just post personal stuff. It's not necessarily the right place for it. So if you're creating content, you have to think about how to put the right pieces of content on the right platforms. And LinkedIn is different than Facebook is and Instagram is. And we're not even getting into TikTok on this, but I have a lot of friends in my network that are really leaning heavily on TikTok. And I think, TikTok's an interesting thing because, again, it skews younger, and a lot of us have kids, and our kids are using TikTok. And guess what? If you get used to using TikTok now and you claim your property in the TikTok universe, okay, if you look at the first people that get on a platform are basically buying up the oceanfront real estate, right? So the oceanfront real estate on LinkedIn, on Instagram, that was bought up many, many years ago, okay? And those people have tremendous amounts of followers as a result of being on the platforms early. That should not be important to you. That's another point I want to make. Do not worry about your followers and your likes. Focus on the fact that you're putting out things that are authentic to you and things that you feel confident speaking on and wanting to share with people who will then in turn say, you know what, Jay, I'm so happy that you said that because I've been thinking that and I didn't know if anybody else felt that way. Or the flip side, Jay, I can't believe you feel that way, but I'm happy that you said that because I'd like to give you a different perspective on it, right? So it's amazing the community of like-minded people that you will find that are using these platforms today. I can say by far the people in the industry that I've connected with over the years now using social media are the most sharing, the most value-driven, value-oriented. These folks want to provide value with no expectation in return. And that is something that really resonates with me, something that I'm proud to be a part of, and somebody who's been crazy enough to get involved doing these types of things when it seemed so foreign and so weird, honestly. And when you get started, it's tough to remove the fear of what other people are going to think about you, right? So that is something that you have to figure out how much discomfort you're willing to actually take on to put your perspective out there, to allow people to think a certain way about you. And if you know me, and if you don't know me, now you probably know that that's not much concern to me, what other people think about me. The only reason that I picked up the camera in the first place, turned it on myself, and was talking about who I am, what I do, who Saber is, what we do, is to develop a bigger business, is to create awareness, okay? That's what this is all about. You have to create awareness. You have to day trade attention. You have to understand that with all of these tools that are at our fingertips, you can access so many more people than you could in the largest networking on the planet, in the largest networking conference on the planet, right? You're able to see this. It knows no boundaries. It knows no geography. People across the country and beyond are seeing these videos when you're posting them on the various platforms. Back to the Kardashian effect, because I'm just keeping this real. I figured, how am I going to give a talk on something about being more human, about using these platforms to develop a personal brand? I don't want this to be polished. I want this to be off the top of my head in a real environment, walking around aimlessly, talking to my camera, so you realize you too can do this, right? And it doesn't take a whole lot of expensive equipment. It doesn't take anything more than picking up your phone, saying something into it, and actually putting it out into the universe. I promise you, the day that you do that, it's going to change the trajectory of your business. It's going to give you access to so much more information and so many more people in the industry and beyond. And this is the main objective for me today, is to tell you guys that you're missing out. You need to do these things in order to be successful and take your business to the next level in this new world that we are entering. And I will tell you that once you are putting these things out into the universe, that it's going to come back tenfold. You're going to be now walking into a meeting with people you've never met before, that instead of, again, pre-coronavirus, instead of shaking your hand, they're actually looking to give you a hug because they think they know you already. And that right there, my friends, is the magic, right? The fact that we can communicate using these tools on a whole different level today is amazing. And it does not only relate to our business and our career. It helps you actually relate more to your kids. It helps you relate more to people in your community who wouldn't otherwise know you. It just takes everything to a completely different level. And look, every platform's different. There's video, there's voice, there's podcasts, there's written form, there's Twitter, which I don't personally use much myself. And you can choose what platforms you actually enjoy, which are organic to you and authentic to you, line up with your skill set. You could choose how often you want to do these things. You could choose the length of time that you want to spend planning these things, right? And you can tell by this video that I spent 0 time preparing for this. I am just completely speaking off of the top of my head about what's real to me and what I believe is my responsibility as a thought leader in the commercial real estate field, using these platforms more than 90% of the folks out there, maybe 95% of the folks out there, and helping everybody get more involved so we can each raise each other up and help us all survive and thrive in this new environment that we're all forced to be doing business in. And I'm here to say that regardless regardless of what you do, you know, it's not going to be easy for the next 18 to 24 months. We're all going to be picking up the pieces and pivoting to how we should be operating in this new environment. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want everybody to please feel free to reach out to me at any point for tips, advice, guidance, pointers on using social media, developing a personal brand in business, specifically in real estate, and helping us become more human as organizations and making the world a better place. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for choosing to watch this video. And I wish you all nothing but continued success, health, and happiness. Have a great day.